So it's time for another home screen critique, but this time I wanted to do it just a little bit differently. I wanted to focus on icons, not to just show off how great some icon packs look, but to show off how they've been integrated into a home screen, or how they match the theme or style. My name is Taylor Martin, you are watching XDA TV, and this is the home screen critique. I want to start with the most basic of the home screens this week, and that one comes from XDA user G511. Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's not great, it's just this one's not over the top, it's very basic. There's no customizations from what I can tell in the status bar, the nav buttons, or anything really. It looks like just a very basic launcher, and he's probably emulating the Pixel launcher because there's no caret, but you do have the Google search button and the date at the top. So it's custom and it's emulating, but by that standard, it's going to be very basic. If you're emulating the Pixel launcher, you're not going to have a lot of flair. In the middle, you have one widget, which is a custom widget, and it's pound and then 155434. That's actually the time. You can actually see in the top right that it's 3:54, and that's the time that it is in the widget. Build number, I imagine that's the current build number of the firmware that's on the phone. And then that's really it. The rest are icons, and these are very, very plain minimal icons. They're just lines, and that's actually the name of the icon pack. And I think it goes with this really well because it's very basic. It's kind of got that hollow feel to it, like the old Android, but without the blue. But I really like it. It's very just clean cut. The one thing that I think if I were to do this myself, if I would change anything, it would be to either make the icons, and I know this isn't exactly something you can just do, but I would make the weight of the lines for the icons a little bit heavier, or I would go in and customize the nav buttons to be a little thinner. But that's really it. I'd say on design, this is probably a 3 out of 5. Nothing special, but it's clean. And utility, I'd probably also give it just a 3 out of 5. Solid home screen, and I really like the line icons. They're just very simple, but very nice. This next home screen, I was actually going to pick it from one of the past videos that I did, but I ended up skipping over it because I felt there just wasn't enough to it to justify that there were too many minimal home screens in that one video. So I skipped over this one. I do like this one a lot. It comes from XDA user Cardiac47. There is just a little bit of work in the status bar because you have a circle battery indicator and then no AM or PM on the clock, which is sometimes I like that because I use a 24-hour clock. But other than that, it's pretty basic. There's no dock at the bottom. So I imagine you have a swipe up for the app drawer. But then you have a custom widget in the middle for your clock and your date. Your clock is written out 7:37, and then of course you have a little, I guess it's a little hipster, but the arrow icon, it doesn't really serve any other purpose other than design. Same as the ribbon for the Monday and then October 24. I like the widget actually quite a bit. I've got nothing against it. I think it looks very clean. And then you have a triangle of icons at the bottom. You have 3, which is your dialer, messages, and then messenger, camera, photos, and Chrome. And it's laid out just very well, but these icons match everything else perfectly. And I know it's just white, it's nothing special, but it's put together very well, and there's attention to detail here. These icons, the icon pack is Wycons, W-H-I-C-O-N-S. And you see them a lot because they're just, white icons. But yeah, there's something about this that I like. I like the wallpaper too. I should say that. For the wallpaper, it is the Wallray app. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing else really to it. There weren't any other screens shared or anything. I could myself use this. I would say that it's probably a 4 to 4.5 out of 5 on design. On utility, probably still just a 3 because you're gonna have to swipe to get to anything that isn't the dialer, messages, camera, photos, Chrome, or Messenger. Yeah, just 3.5 or so on utility. This last home screen actually has a little bit more to it, just a little more sustenance. Not a lot, but just a little bit more. It comes from XDA user Fredox, and it actually also has the same customization in the status bar, which is the circle battery indicator. I'm not sure what clock widget that is. I see it everywhere, and I don't even really know what it is. It reminds me of the old Motorola one that they had on one of their old phones. I can't remember the name of it, but that widget reminds me of it. The icons are actually the Devo icon, or Devo, D-E-V-O icon pack. And I really like them. I know I've said before that I don't like circular icons, but these, I think I like them so much because they match the clock and they match the wallpaper perfectly. The actual post in the thread says that this is Substratum. I don't know what that means exactly. It's the Domination theme and it's in Nova Launcher, but that's really all the information that was shared. I will say that I don't necessarily like the YouTube icon in this. It would look better, especially with the border around it, if it were just the YouTube logo centered in the circle versus having the scrub bar below the icon. As far as design goes, I'd say it's a 4 out of 5. And as far as utility goes, I'd say it's probably on par with the others, 3 or 3.5 out of 5. You have pretty much what I assume is everything you need here on the home screen. But then again, if you need anything beyond that, you're gonna have to open the app drawer, and there are only 12 icons on the home screen. That might be enough. But then again, there's nothing really at your fingertips beyond these icons, you know, a calendar or swipe gestures that I know of. So I have to assume that this is just going to be a 3 out of 5 on utility. But that's going to do it for this home screen critique. If you would like to see your home screen featured in the next video, be sure to share it. You can do so by clicking the link in the description below and posting it in the XDA thread where everybody shares their home screens. That's where I'm probably most likely going to find it, but you can also tweet it to me if that's easier, but it might get lost in the mix. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and follow and subscribe to XDA here on YouTube and in all your favorite places. If you'd like to see more of me, you can find me on my YouTube channel over at Mod at Home, and of course you can find me pretty much everywhere around the web at Casper Tech. One last time, my name is Taylor Martin, and I will see you in the next one.